Well, everyone, this is it. This is the end, the season finale for Only Murders in the Building. We'll be looking at episode 10 titled Open and Shut. Before we go into it, please make sure you like this video if you enjoy it, and please make sure to subscribe if you're new here. We keep up with all the movies, TV shows, and plenty of other shows besides this. But don't be worried, we still have season 2. It's already been confirmed, and by the end of this episode, you'll see that we already kind of know what season 2 might look like. But let's get into episode 10. Quick recap, I'll give my rating for it, and then we'll talk about the show overall after that. So as you remember from last episode, Jan is currently our prime suspect. A lot of us were sort of, on the edge of thinking, is she actually the killer? Is she not? Does the show have one more twist for us? So episode 10 starts out, and it's Tim Kono narrating moments before his death. He goes into some details about how he became lonely after his friends left him, and that his romance with Jan is what helped him. We then cut to present day where Mabel and Oliver are discovering that Jan might actually be the killer. So they obviously want to tell Charles about that since he's dating her. We then see that they tell Charles. Charles says that they're insane. Mabel sort of goes into details, but it seems like Charles doesn't believe them. Later on, Charles and Jan meet up in his apartment. They start talking. Jan sort of offers drinks. They start having talk over drinks. She apologizes for lying about being the first chair. Charles seems to sort of just accept the apology. So as they're drinking, Jan notices the bassoon cleaning device on the table. She asks Charles, does he think that she's the killer? He says obviously not, he doesn't. He then confesses his love for her. She sort of says, I love you too. So while this is going on, Mabel and Oliver are in Jan's apartment investigating. They find poison in there, and they also find the knife that Jan used to stab herself. Shortly after, cut back to Charles and Jan. Charles reveals that he knows Jan has poisoned the alcoholic beverages and he hasn't actually been drinking them, and that she used the same poison in these drinks as she did for Tim Kono. This is where Jan transforms into like her true self. She starts acting like a lunatic, really crazy. Good performance by Amy Ryan for, making this performance so weird and this character so weird, because I was literally watching, I was like, this is so, not cringe, but I was like, it's just so weird. Like, her character is so weird now, so different. So good for Amy Ryan, but the actual character is like your typical loony bin, right? So she seems to be all happy that it's all out in the open now. Charles starts going over the evidence to her face about why she was able to kill Tim Kono. So then that's when Jan reveals that the poison wasn't actually in the alcoholic drinks, but actually in the handkerchief that Charles has been using this whole time. So he collapses to the floor, and this is where it's confirmed pretty much that Jan is the murderer. As you guys saw from my last video, I sort of knew or had a feeling that Jan was going to be our killer. They weren't going to throw another suspect at us. And throughout the whole beginning of this episode, I was just going back and forth. I'm like, is she the killer? Do I see another twist coming? But this is where it's pretty much confirmed that she's the killer. So she leaves to go and try and stop the others. Charles is able to muster up some energy to get up, and he uses his nose to stop the recording on his phone. It's revealed that underneath the pillow, he's recording the whole conversation. So then he puts on his best Wolf of Wall Street impression as he sort of like is half paralyzed, stumbles around, goes into the elevator. All the residents think that he's just drunk. And then also in like this Scooby-Doo fashion, the main trio keep missing each other on the elevator as they keep going up and down. But eventually they meet up, and Oliver is able to use Charles's face to unlock his phone. That's when they see the recording, and they kind of know that they have Jan's confession all in recording now. But before they can even think of anything else, they smell like this weird gas, and they think it's coming from the basement. And they also think it's Jan up to something, so they decide to head down there. They find Jan in the basement, and Jan's pointing a gun at them. Oliver was able to use the wheelchair that they put Charles in to hit Jan, and then Mabel comes and she steps on the gun before Jan can get it, and then she punches Jan in the face, and Jan gets arrested. So as the episode nears its end, we see Tim Kono again narrating. He talks about how the trio embraced their messes. Charles says we're all Tim Kono, which, like, he said that line, and I was just like what? Like what does that mean? We're all Tim Kono. Like, I kind of get what they're saying, but like not really. Like, what is that? Like, we're all Tim Kono. Like, we could all get killed, or we all have our secrets. I think that's maybe it. We all have our deep secrets, or something like that. I don't know. But then they're on the rooftop. They're all drinking. Mabel decides to go get more champagne. That's when Charles and Oliver receive a text to get out of the building. There's sirens coming. So they try and go get Mabel, who's getting the champagne. They find Mabel leaned down next to a dead bunny, who's not a dead bunny, the character bunny, who's like the main like landlord of the building, right? She's like in charge of everything. She's dead. She's covered in blood. Mabel's covered in blood. And she tells them that's not what they think. Mabel's knitting needle is in her back, And this is the first shot we saw at the beginning of the show, right? Where she's leaning over a dead body. I think we thought it was Tim Kono at first, right? And then in this last scene, it looked like the tie-dye sweatshirt, so I thought it was Oscar. Then it was revealed it's Bunny. Then afterwards, we see that everyone's wearing that same tie-dye sweatshirt because it says like the only murders in the building, like official merch or whatever, right? So then the police bust down the door. They arrest all 3 of our main characters, and that's how the episode ends. So I'm going to give us my rating for the episode right now. I'm giving it 3.9 out of 5. We'll see how this all plays out in season 2. As we can probably guess, I think Mabel will be the prime suspect out of the 3. If you remember, she called Bunny a bitch in front of everyone outside towards the end of this episode. So that might come into fruition in the beginning of next season. But yeah, I thought this finale was great. It's always more fun trying to solve the mystery than actually finding it out, as we saw in this episode. That's why I think I have some other episodes like 7 and 8 ranked higher than this one. Just because, those episodes ends, or, we think it's Jan, we think it's this person, we're left and we don't have anyone, as our suspects. I think that's more fun than for this episode. We were just sitting back watching how it all would play out, right? Not many twists till the very end. This one was more comedy focused too. The comedy aspects sort of worked here. There were some funny moments with Charles, when he's doing the Wolf of Wall Street thing and he's all drunk and paralyzed. And then towards the end where he fantasizes like standing up for himself, but meanwhile he's still in the chair. Some good comedic moments. But yeah, it's always more fun, trying to piece stuff together than it just being told outright to us, right? Which is what this was. But the big twist at the end is what saved it. I remember on the rooftop, I was thinking like there is still time for one more twist, and I think they'll give it to us, and they did. So I'm very excited for season 2 now. If I had to rate the show overall, I'd probably give it a 4 out of 5. I had a great time with it. It was such a fun vibe that I'm going to miss a lot on a weekly basis. The characters grew on me. At first, I was sort of iffy on the trio. I was like, and the comedy aspects aren't working for me. The mystery seems cool, but I don't know if these 3 can really do it for me. But their chemistry grew. The comedy aspects did get better. Martin Short got a lot better for me. And the mystery kept getting better. In the beginning with the whole Sting episode, I was like, is this show going to be like where every episode we're just checking off a list of someone that we know isn't? Which it sort of is, but they do it in different ways. I like that whole POV silent episode. Just switch things up. They went different routes here, and I like that. But that is a wrap for Only Murders in the Building. Thank you guys so much for watching these videos. You guys have really made this one of the big things on my channel. I'm still new here, still starting out. Just having a great time here. It's just so much fun talking to you guys about this. Making these videos are a great time. Please stick around, for Only Murders in the Building Season 2 if that's what you guys were just here for this channel. Or come check out some of the other shows I cover, or the movies, reactions, we're just having a good time. So please make sure to like this video if you enjoy it. I'm going to miss talking to you guys about this show, but hopefully Season 2 isn't too far away. And please make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet. And have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you all in the next video.